so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make this super cute, fun wreath. Stay tuned for all the details. Okay guys, so the things that you're going to need for this tutorial are a foam wreath. It can be any size. I think this is a pretty good size. This says it is 12 inches, and I think this is pretty good for the door. But of course, you can do it smaller, bigger, however you want. Alrighty. Oops. Of course, you're going to need a hot glue gun and plenty of hot glue gun sticks. Felt paper. Plenty of felt paper. All colors. It just depends on what color you want your flowers to be on your wreath. So, felt paper, fabric. This is optional. You can actually cover your felt flowers with fabric if you just want different patterns. So, yep. And yarn. I have a lot of yarn. So, any yarn of your choice, any colors. It just depends on the color scheme, of course, that you want to use for your wreath. Okay, guys, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and get your wreath and pick out whatever yarn that you want to use to wrap your wreath with. I chose this color scheme. Okay, so go ahead and take your glue gun and put a little glue around the edge of your yarn. And then you're going to go ahead and glue that little piece to the inside. Make sure it's glued on there tight. And what you are going to do is to go ahead and start wrapping your yarn. What I did was cut strips of yarn. So this is about how much my first strip of yarn is. Go ahead and start wrapping the yarn around. So again, it's kind of tedious, and you don't have to cut strips. You can just actually pull your ball of yarn in and out the loop like I'm doing. So just keep wrapping your yarn around your wreath, and again, it just depends on how much yarn you want to use or what pattern you use, and of course this is your choice. So you can continue to wrap your wreath until it's completely covered. And what I'm going to be doing is alternating with the different color yarns that I chose until my wreath is completely covered with yarn. Okay. Okay, so I finished my first little section of yarn color. And when I finished it, what I did was just hot glued this inside, if you can see. And again, you can cut this later to make it a little bit neat. But when I start my next section, I'm actually going to start it right on top so I can wrap around any of this frayed yarn. So, this is my next color. And like I said, just go ahead, try glue on the inside. Put that down up over it. Glue is hot, of course. And then you can go ahead and wrap this around right there. Okay, so you can go ahead and continue this process until you've completed your entire wreath. Again, every time you start a new color, make sure when you're hot gluing on the inside. That way, if there's any mistakes, or you can hot glue on the back half of the wreath, whichever side that you decide is going to be the back, you can hot glue back there too, because then it won't be really noticeable if you have any extra hot glue marks. So go ahead and continue to wrap your yarn. Alrighty, so we are a little more than halfway through, and this is how it's looking. Okay, so if you are going to be using fabric for one of your flowers, you want to go ahead and take your piece of felt and you want to cover it with your fabric. So go ahead and cut your fabric even with your felt. And what you want to do is hot glue your fabric onto your felt. So make sure you use a lot of hot glue because you want to make sure that it is pretty much saturated. Or you just want to make sure your fabric is going to stay on there pretty well. So you want to cut your fabric into a fourth, or your felt into a fourth, like so. So what you want to do is draw a spiral like this. Okay, and then just go ahead and cut along the spiral. So go through, and if there's little spots that need a little touch up with the hot glue gun, you can go ahead and do that. So you have, this is going to be your flower, and what you're going to do is going to fold it like this to make a really cute fabric flower. So again, with your little piece, fold it like this. So you can go ahead and hot glue that first little crease to the inside like that. And then you're going to continue that pattern around just like that until you have a really cute flower. There you go. Okay, so lastly, you just want to take small piece of yarn and tie it around the top so that you can have something to hang the wreath from the door with. So just tie it like such. Double knot it. Then you can just make a little loop to hang it from the door.